Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back. So, guys, if you remember, as part of the previous session, we have seen a brief overview on a page object model. Now, the next concept that we are going to study is a page factory model. So, what exactly the significance of this page factory model? See, this page object and a page factory more or less one and the same. This page factory is an extension to our page object model. Okay, it's an extension to our page object model. Whatever the page object model content is there, in extension to that, basically, you are writing down the code in the page factory model. So, if you observe the page object model, what we have done, we are defining the page specific locators there. So, what a page specific model is saying is, along with the locators, write the logic also, and simply in the test, call that logic method itself. Okay, call that logic function itself. Basically, what page factory is saying is, create your own pages class along with the page locators. Write down along with the page locators, write down the method as well, the function that performs the actions on it. Along with that, the only thing is, you just need to call that particular function, whatever the newly created function is there, you just need to call that a function inside that particular PyTest, whatever you are creating. Okay, what exactly you are creating. So, which means you need to create a function with which you will be using down that locator. Along with that, what exactly the action it's being performing, you need to do that. Everything you need to do there itself. So here I'm creating a new directory with a name as a page factory model. And inside the page factory model, I was just creating a two packages. One is the pages, or I can also call it as a page objects, and the second package is related to my test cases. Okay, one is my pages and the second is related to my test cases, guys. Okay, perfectly all right. So we have already created the pages and as well as the tests, right, as part of the page object model. So this is the login page where you have defined this particular information, right, guys? If you remember, as part of the login page, we have defined this information. We are gonna reuse this information, guys. Okay, so we are gonna reuse this particular information so that we can easily deal with it. Okay, we can easily deal with it. So how are we gonna deal with this particular page factory concept? That's the key thing. So now what are we gonna do right now is, let us create, let's close this. Once we are back, we can use it. As part of this pages, I'm defining a new Python file with a name as a login page. Inside this, a login page prop, basically, which is defining the properties for that. And here I'm defining my default constructor here. Okay, which is accepting the driver instance so that I don't face any issues moving further with my driver. Okay, I don't face any issues moving further with my driver, hence I have just used this particular driver. And this self dot driver is equal to this driver. Perfectly all right. We just created this particular instance. Now we need the locators. So what I'm doing is, for the time being, I'm capturing the locator only for this particular, okay, only for this particular sign up button. So I was just placing that particular locator here. Okay, I was just placing that particular locator here. So this is what the sign up button locator is. Okay, I have defined this particular locator. And now here is the place where exactly you need to define the desired functions. So def, the function that I want to define out over here is click sign up button. Right. You are performing the click operation on that particular sign up button. And here, for this particular click, you don't need any arguments. Directly, you can perform a click operation. So here, your driver instance is a self.driver, and we are using, okay, the find element. So here, we are using the find element. Okay. So for the better element. Okay, so for the better usage, I was just copying this particular line, the complete line, okay, for my better visibility. So here, self dot driver find element, okay, driver dot find element, apm by dot accessibility id. So here apm by dot accessibility id and the field, okay, and the locator that you want to use here is a sign up button. Okay, this is gonna be the sign up button, and on this I want to perform the click operation. I want to perform the click operation here, guys. That's it. As simple as it is. So here it's not coming the sign up. So self dot. Okay, you are getting that particular information. Okay, perfectly all right. So we got this, and we have an issue with respect to this import. Mouse over on it and see import this APM by. Perfectly all right. We just created this particular chunk. It's in a good shape right now. Now, the next thing that I need to do is, as part of my test cases, I need to create a test that will be performing the desired actions. Copy the previous page object model based test, and I'm updating here with a login page test itself. Okay, for a better visibility, I was just naming it as a login page test, in which I don't want this get data for now. I just deleted it, and then on top of it this is required, and I don't need this parameters, and of course I don't need any parameters for this chunk, and I don't need a logics for all these things. I just deleted that. My app launcher does has this particular logic, and this time, instead of this particular one, it's already there in that login file. So here, login page LP is equal to login page props. So I was just creating an instance to that. So here, make sure that you have imported it in a proper way. So from POM, so this is not the one that I want to use. From page factory model dot pages dot login page, import the login page prop. This is what I want to use. Okay, I just created an instance to that, and login page dot, okay, the method that we have used out over there is a click sign up button. Okay, click sign up button. That's the method that we have used. See, basically, guys, there is a relation between these two. So we just created a method, and if you go there, this is the method that it's being used there. So let me try to run this particular PyTest and check out whether it is performing a click operation on a sign up. If it performs the click operation on a sign up, then I will extend my further logic to perform the furthermore operations. Okay, so let us see that. So the click sign up, so it should perform the click operation, and I got a failure here. Okay, I got a failure here. The failure is related to test app launch, and here missing the driver argument. Okay, so for this particular login page prop, it's accepting the driver, so the driver instance is missing. Okay, let me try to run this. Okay, let me try to run this and check it out how exactly you are dealing with it. Okay, let me try to run it and see how exactly it's being handled. Okay, so whatever the driver instance is there, we just pass it the driver instance, and it executed successfully. It executed successfully. Perfectly all right. The script ran successfully here. Okay, the script ran successfully here. Perfect. Now here, as part of the page locators, you have a defined only one locator. For the sign up functionality, there are a couple more locators are there. Define those locators, write that particular actions here. So from the previous page object model, whatever the locators are there, just copy those locators, and I was placing those locators here for a reference. So these are related to the sign up functionality. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do here, def sign up. Okay, so I want to perform the sign up operation. So for that, the first and a foremost thing here is you need to find an element with Appium by dot. Okay, that's gonna be an XPath, and the XPath value is gonna be the email ID. Okay, the XPath value is gonna be the email ID, and okay, dot send keys. So basically, you want to perform the send keys operation. Okay, you want to perform the send keys operation. The email ID is gonna be qa test 15 at the rate yopmail.com. Okay, that's it. I have just defined that. And even the same way, I need to define the password self dot driver dot find element apm by dot again the xpath, and even self dot I want to use my password, and I want to use my send keys, and this time I want to give my own password, new pass hash 123. I have given my password, and now we need to click on a continue button. Self dot driver dot find element apm by dot accessibility id, and even this time self dot the continue button I wanna perform a click operation. Okay, as in when you perform a click operation on a continue button, there it will prompt you to enter the username, right? Self dot driver dot find element apm by dot the okay apm by dot the xpath, and the XPath is gonna be the username text field, and I would like to give my username as a qa15. Okay, I would like to give my username as a qa15. Fine, perfectly all right. And after that, I need to do a click operation on the checkbox. I was just reusing this particular command. Okay, and the checkbox is having a term checkbox. I was just updating it. And at last, I need to perform a click operation on a sign up button, and I was defining this a sign up button too. Perfect. We have the sign up logic. Okay, this sign up logic you need to call it in your test. So here lp dot I want to perform this sign up logic execution. Okay, so here the difference between a page object and a page factory is in the page object you are just defining the locators, whereas in a factory along with the locators you are gonna write down the logics and you are gonna call that particular logics here. The only thing is in your test you will be having only the logic that it is being called, nothing more than that that will be there as part of this chunk. Okay, perfectly all right. The script is getting executed. It should perform these operations. Yeah, perfect. Done the deal. So maybe there is an issue with the password locator. That's the reason it doesn't enter. If there is an issue with the username, even it shouldn't enter the username. See here in the password, the send keys is the typo. Two times we got an S. Okay, now it got fixed. Let me try to run the program and check it out this time. There was an issue with respect to the command that I have entered there. That's the reason it ended up with an issue. Now let me try to run this program and see how this is gonna work. Okay, username, password, and it should click on a continue button. Okay, and then it had an issue here. It clicked on that button and it had an issue. Let us see basically app launch the driver, the sign up, where in which the send keys, it's having an issue basically in find element using the value. There is an issue. An element could not be located. So why we are not getting this element? So this is a username text field. So time dot asleep for 5 seconds. Let me keep it as a 5 seconds, and I'm just changing it to QS16, and let me run this program too. Okay, so I felt that the issue might be with respect to the synchronization. Hence, I have just added the synchronization command there. Okay, I've just added a synchronization command there. Let us see how this is gonna work this time. Okay, it should click, it should wait, and then it should perform this operation here. Now it got executed successfully. So this is the way how exactly it executes that particular test script, guys, in a page factory concept. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next session with a further example. Thank you. Bye bye.